from Isha. A very quick introduction about me. I've been with IT for last 15 plus years and predominantly in performance testing, performance engineering, and then as well on the development, product development as well. Okay, and I'm into this training for last three plus years. I've been taking training on performance engineering and then some of the client-side performance, your DevOps, uh, and Linux courses. So I've been taking these various courses for last 2 to 3 years. Okay, so this course that is planned from today uh, is on performance engineering. Okay. Um, most of you who have joined this call, I believe you are from performance testing background. You might be doing maybe testing, a little bit of engineering, is what my assumption is, right? So today, what we'll do is I'm just going to walk you through the topics that we are going to cover in this course. Okay, probably I'll spend some 10 minutes on that, and then probably I'll take a random topic and then go over that so that you will understand how is going to be the teaching, or what is it something you're going to understand out of the training, right? So for you to get a feel of it, since it's a demo session, want to go over one of the topic and take that through. Okay, and as well, I'll also show you how we are going to conduct this training in terms of practically how the sessions are going to be planned. And that is the agenda of today. Okay, so let me go to the topics. I'll spend 5-10 minutes on the topics which we are going to cover in the next few weeks. Okay, um, so basically the sessions are very much tailored. See, performance engineering is a very vast topic. Okay, uh, it has no boundary. Okay, as you gain experience, as you get exposed to a lot of things, there is no boundary in terms of applying your engineering concepts, in terms of improving the performance of your applications, tuning, profiling, providing recommendations. There is no boundary at all. Okay, but more from the beginner perspective, beginner to intermediate perspective, when you are going to make your journey from performance testing to engineering. Okay, so there are two things which we are considered while we try to structure this course. Two things we have considered. One, from from an interview perspective, when you are going to go for an interview as a performance tester, how you can succeed there with these kind of performance engineering concepts, performance engineering basics. Okay, once you go through this, once you learn this during the training session, and at least once if you can do all this in your laptop, we will provide you all the required things for you to use it for your hands-on. Okay, whatever the code which you are going to use it, whatever the war file we are going to use it, all the tool wherever we are going to download, all these details we will give to you. So at least once you practice, even though you don't have experience in real-time project for performance engineering, you can pretty much go and tell in the interview that I have performance testing experience, and I have learned performance engineering out of my interest, out of my passion. I have tried all these tools, all these analysis, profiling with my own application in my laptop out of my interest. If you're going to communicate that and then answer those questions that are going to be asked, you will definitely be far ahead from the person who knows only testing. Okay, so even without engineering we are going to fake, right? We are not going to so and say I have 3 years of engineering experience or 4 years of engineering experience. No, we are going to say I am good in performance testing. I have learned engineering. I have a certification from Isha, and I have tried all these tools and I've done analysis myself, being a heap dump or a thread dump or leak analysis, garbage collection analysis. I have used AppDynamics. I have analyzed the AWS reports. I have set up my own monitoring tools. I have done the response time analysis. I have done the client side performance. if you go to say all these things and you say, I've done this on my own, I've done the hands-on, nobody will have a problem in taking you, because say engineering, unless otherwise you get exposure into a project, nobody is going to have an experience, right? During the intention of this course, one of the intention is for you to gain that knowledge, have this hands-on, though you're not got a hands-on projects, this will help you to get an hands-on. Okay. Second is, from the engineering perspective, right, you have to start somewhere. Okay, all these courses are tailored in such a way that it will cover all the basic things across layers. Okay, even if you are in a current project, if you want to take up an engineering activity, you would be able to do it definitely with a confidence. And that's how we have structured this course very tailor made, which will cover all the important engineering aspects. Okay, so I'll go through a couple of these topics, right? So we'll start with Java basics and JVM basics. Very important. The reason is, you all would have faced this problem, right? Like me, at the beginning, we are going to go and tell it to the developers that you have a response time problem. You have a lot of errors. They will always come and question us about our scripts and our test data, right? It is not going to be easy to convince them. Now we are going to go one step ahead and then tell that your code is having a problem, your method is having a problem, your object is having a memory leak. If you're going to go and tell these things, developer will again going to come back and question a lot of things. So for you to go and confidently talk to the developers, you should know a little bit of Java basics, little bit of Java programming, definitely, and JVM concepts. So in the initial sessions, we will cover these Java basics and JVM basics to a level where you can go and confidently go and talk to them. We are not going to become an hardcore programmer here, right? No, we should understand what is class, what is method, what is the package, how the multiple methods are constructed, how you can call one class from another class file. So once you see a real-time program, once you write few program, if you know how to how in a real project these class files are going to be organized, that's all we need to go and talk to them confidently. It should not be a black box for us, right? That is what we will try to break that kind of hurdle. Okay, so Java basics and JVM basics will cover initially, and then we'll go into the engineering topics, right? So you might all face these problems during a testing, right? You run a test, you will see a response time problem, you will see a memory getting increased, you will see thread utilization getting increased, right? So we will go and create problems, and then we'll go and analyze all these things. The way we'll do is, I'll just go and, for example, I'll just take an example, okay? Just give me 1 second. I will go to my drive, okay? So this Google Drive access will be given to everybody. So this drive will have all the required artifacts, okay? For example, the response time analysis, okay? The response time analysis folder will have the required WAR file. So the application what we're going to use is a Java application called e-library. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go and it is already running. Okay, Tomcat is already running in my machine, and I'll open the application. Okay, so this is the application which we'll use it for our course, for response time analysis, for the profiling, for the leak analysis, for the your heap dumps, thread dumps. For all these things, we will be using this sample application. It's a Java-based application, and we also have the corresponding code for that as well. Okay, so this code will also be given to you. It will be uploaded to the drive, and the corresponding WAR file as well. It will be given to you, right? So this drive will have the required artifacts. So you can download this WAR file, and you can install that in your Tomcat, and even the Tomcat as well. I'll be uploading it in the drive, so you can download the Tomcat. you can upload the WAR file. I'll tell you how to do all these things. We have a video, setup video, where I would have told about how to install Java, how to install the Tomcat, and then how to deploy a WAR file. That setup video, I have it. So once you register to the course, we will provide you the access to the drive as well as to those videos, so that you can set up these initial thing on your mission. Okay, for example, right? So this drive is one, and one more thing is on the we also maintain a sheet, right? We'll maintain a Google sheet where we will provide you all the required software list. Okay, so let me open that. This is open. 1 second. I'm just opening that. Yeah, the software sheet will have all the paths from where you can download the Java or all the different tools. Okay, so this access will be given to you so that you can go and download whatever that is required for your initial setup, and then this drive where you will be able to download all the artifacts, whatever documents we create, right? For example, for response time analysis, when we do a response time analysis using say JProfiler, we will go and create a analysis document. For instance, if this is the response time analysis which I would have created earlier batches, right? We'll go and do this exercise again during our sessions. We will see what are the steps we'll follow, and then how do we go and find out the response time problem, how do we use Tomcat access blocks, how do we go to JProfiler, identify problems. Everything will be documented, and this will be also uploaded to the drive. Okay, so it is going to be mostly, it is going to be practically driven sessions. Okay, and that is how we are going to conduct this course. Let me go to the so what we would require from you is basically so we're going to build the code, we're going to deploy it, we're going to test it, we're going to identify the performance problem, we're going to profile, and then find out the root cause. That is how we are going to do it for most of the sessions wherever applicable. Okay, what we need from you is in order to practice. See, once you're going to listen during a session, that is all good. But as I was saying, for you to confidently go and tell in the interview that I have learned, I have practiced, I have done the hands-on, it is very important for you to do that hands-on in your mission. And it's very easy as well. I'm going to give you all the required things for you to do the setup. And most of the tools which we will be using it are going to be open source tool, or the tools like AppDynamics or JProfiler, which we will be using it, or Dynatrace, whatever tools, APM tools, or whatever the profiling tools we are going to use it. Everything is going to have a trial version, right? So which means you can easily go and practice it for 1 month, 2 months with those trial licenses. So what you need is, you just need a laptop and Java to be installed, Eclipse if required, not mandatory. You need a Tomcat and a Java application. I'm going to give it. Okay, and then few tools, profiling tools, or which are all open source. Right? So it's going to be easy setup, not and if you're going to have really interested, passionate about learning engineering, you just need this for you to follow my sessions, and then you can do a hands-on. Okay, that is very much recommended, so that you will more you do it, more you get confidence. Okay, so response, say for example, response time analysis, right? If you I think I have I'll do one thing. I'll just go over to my Tomcat. Okay, and then open my web apps. Okay, I'm going to just delete this WAR file. Okay, and then I will go and download the response time WAR file from the here. So there might be a WAR file which will have a problem. Okay, for example, there's a WAR file which I have saying response time 1. There is some problem with the response time. It might be high due to some reason. Okay, You can download this, and then I'll deploy into the. I'm just wanted to tell you how we are going to conduct this kind of a diagnostic thing, right? So I'll deploy this WAR file. I copy this and then go and paste this, and then probably I'll rename this. Okay, and then I'll go and restart it. Okay, I'll go and restart it. I'll go and start the server. So this will get now deployed. So after deploying, right, say what I will do is as an end user, I'll open the e-library application, right? See, these Tomcat installation, deploying all these things, those things as well, as a performance engineer, should know it, because when you do a profiling, right, in most of the time nowadays, people are expected you to have your own mission. You will have a mission, you will have your own Tomcat, and then you will go and get a WAR file from your developer and deploy it. So small administrative things, we should be able to start doing it, right? We should be more hands-on, more technical. That is what expected, and that is what we'll also try to do it in the course as well. Now it is started. Now we'll go to the okay. So I'll open the developer tool, Control Shift I. Okay. And then I'll say login. Okay, see, for example, if you see, okay, I think I did a wrong one. Let me clear it out and then do a login again. Okay, so when you look into it, right, now admin login, it is still pending. I haven't got the login page, so it took close to 10 seconds, right? If you see the bottom right hand side corner, load time is 10.3 seconds. So we all know that SLA for response time is what, 3 seconds or 5 seconds. In this case, it took 10.3 seconds. And out of 10.3 seconds, if you see this admin login document, the first line where the green color thing is there, right? Near my mouse cursor, it is 9.25. And out of 9.25, if you see, a majority of time is taken in the time to first byte, 9.23 seconds. Okay, time to first byte is your browser send a request, and your server to do the authentication validation, and then to send the response first byte. It took 9.23 seconds, right? Which means there might be a potential problem with my server, with my code. Okay, so this is the testing, right? You, from a testing perspective, you say that my response time is high, but why I? That is what we that is what we will learn to find the root cause of this 9.23 seconds. That is the job of the engineer as well. From a testing perspective, we'll go and say 9.23. Performance engineer will go and find why this 9.23 seconds. Okay, so those things we will try to learn in the session. Similarly, say for to identify the memory problem, right? What I will do is I'll go to the response time analysis, and I'll go to the memory folder. There I will have the WAR file for memory leaks. I'll download, and then I'll use the tool like JConsole or JVisualVM to monitor your memory. And then if the memory is keep on growing, that is what your memory leak, right? Even after if you do multiple logins, multiple transactions, the memory will grow, but it should come down, right? After some garbage collection is executed, it will come down. But in some cases, it won't come down. If it doesn't come down, that is what we call it as a leak, right? Say, for example, here in this graph, it keeps on going up and up. right? Or probably this graph, if you see, it went up, it came down, which means there is no memory leak. If in this graph, if you see, the memory goes up, it did not come to the original position at all, which means there's a problem with your memory. So once you know this, there is a problem, then we'll go and find out why this is keep on increasing, which object is having a problem, right? Those kind of analysis is what we'll do it from a memory perspective. Okay, so all these things we will. Okay, so from the course perspective, that's what we'll start doing all these things from an engineering perspective. Response time analysis, why the response time is high, and then why the memory is high. We will look into the concept about Java heap and stack. Okay, two important components in your JV memory, and then we'll go and learn heap dump, garbage collection analysis. So there will be a set of series of memory related topics from a memory leak, heap dump, GC analysis. We'll use various tools: JProfiler, Eclipse Mat, JConsole, Visual VM, GC logs. All these tools will be used from a memory perspective. Okay, and from there we'll move to the threads. See, any system, if you take it, it will have a CPU, it will have a memory, and threads are going to be there, which is going to handle the task, right? So we need to analyze the CPU, we need to analyze the response time, we need to look into the memory, and then we also need to look into the threads as well, right? So from a Java thread perspective, we look into the concepts, what is thread contention, how to configure the threads, thread dump analysis, all these things we will look into it. Okay, and then we'll also go and discuss about the JVM benchmarking. For JVM benchmarking, it's a combination of number of threads, your heap configuration, your response time expectation, number of concurrent user expected in a JVM. All is what will drive your JVM benchmark. And we'll go and discuss how JVM benchmark will be done in a typical project. Okay, and then we'll also go and learn some of the important client-side analysis, client-side profiling, client-side recommendation, what we will give it for any web application. Okay, and from there we'll go on to the database as well. We'll go and understand the Oracle database architecture, how it is structured. We'll try to go and connect to the Oracle DB, enable some of the snapshots, get the AWR report, and we will look into some of the important aspect as an application performance engineer, how to look into the AWR report. Okay, and then we also go and look into the monitoring aspect, right? So we have done individual analysis, database analysis, CPU analysis, heap dump, thread dump. All these things are all good, but when you run a load testing, right, you need a good APM tool. So we'll go and learn one of the good APM tool called AppDynamics. We'll try to configure the AppDynamics with our Java application, whatever sample application I was showing, right? For that application, we'll connect with the in fact, if you would have looked into it closely, this Tomcat, right, whatever I'm using it would have said connected to the AppDynamics at the beginning. If you see here, started AppDynamics Java then successfully. So my application is connected with the AppDynamics. We will try to do the reconfiguration again while we take this individual sessions. But yes, this the library application is already connected to the AppDynamics. So we'll try to learn how to connect the AppDynamics with the Java application. What are the various things we will be looking to the AppDynamics. In detail, we will have an AppDynamics session. And everywhere the open source is very famous. So we'll also try to learn how to use the open source monitoring using Telegraph, Inflex, and Chronograph or Grafana. We'll go and install these tools, configure these tools, and then use it for our monitoring. Okay, so all these things are what it is something expected in the great project from an engineering perspective, and we'll look into all this mostly practical, and 15-10% will be theoretical from a concept perspective. Okay, and at the last we'll go and learn what are the non-functional requirements, how non-functional requirements are defined, and then the engineering strategy. We all would have known test strategy, but how to create an engineering strategy is also we'll learn. Okay, and outside of engineering topic, we'll also try to learn few things from a future readiness perspective. See, wherever you go, even though you're good in engineering, people will ask about DevOps, questions in DevOps. People who are expected to know something about DevOps. how to run continuous testing in Jenkins, how to integrate Jenkins and Jmeter. We'll try to go and understand some of the important concepts of DevOps, how practically performance testing is done in DevOps. We'll also go and learn practically how to integrate Jmeter and Jenkins. And similarly, cloud is also something very, very famous everywhere, right? Everywhere cloud is implemented, apps are hosted in cloud. So we'll try to understand what is going to be different in cloud performance, how engineering is going to be different or not. What are the additional scenarios you might need to consider in cloud? What is resiliency and auto scaling? So some of the very important basic concepts about cloud performance and what are the additional scenarios you will cover. Those things you will look into the one more future readiness topic. And then based on the recent feedback, we will also include some of the bonus topics. So we'll cover these things little bit, not in a very detailed way, but definitely to the point where you will be able to reproduce that in your projects. One is a CloudWatch monitoring, AWS CloudWatch monitoring. It is included, and then most of the applications are going to be hosted in Linux, right? Though we are comfortable in Windows, fortunately or unfortunately, the app servers are going to be in Linux. The load generators are going to be in Linux. So we have to know some of the very important basics to connect to the Linux machine and do things easily. So we'll also have a session on Linux for performance tester. And then one more important thing from a site reliability engineering, SRE, you would have heard it. The synthetic monitoring is one of the key component of SRE. So we'll go and use Dynatrace to create synthetic scripts, how to run this synthetic scripts in production apps 24/7, how to configure it. So synthetic monitoring as well, we'll learn practically using Dynatrace. Okay, so these entire things are going to be covered in the next 3 to 4 weeks, 25, 27, 28, 30 hours. It can be anything between 25 to 30 hours, depending upon the kind of interactions we are going to have it, kind of questions we are going to have it, kind of discussions we are going to have it. It might vary. Okay. So I'll just take a pause here, guys. If you have any questions on the course content, topics, right? Yeah, please let me know. And sessions are going to be between 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Yeah, please go ahead.
So, I mean, as you share the content of the course, so do we, I mean, prior to this, what is the, I mean, any technology would you like to us know before joining this course? I mean, for example, Jmeter or Java basics. What are the prerequisites before joining this course?
Prerequisite is performance. If you have working experience in performance testing for 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, that would be one of the prerequisite. Or if you're coming from a say development background, or if you're coming from some other testing, right? That is still okay, because this performance engineering is going to get targeted for a beginner. So there is no specific prerequisite for this. If you have a performance testing knowledge, that should be more than enough. Because we are not going to learn the Jmeter or Jmeter execution here. It's more about engineering, right? Whatever topics I have been telling you. So if you are already know performance testing, good enough. If you are from automation or from development, you're trying to come into the performance area, even then all these things are going to be very, very informative, helpful to you as you try to learn the performance testing. So,
but okay, I totally agree with the I mean that you mentioned about. But I can see the threads, the Java threads, and dump analysis. So kind of these things. I mean, do we have any presentation or kind of a say PDF through which we can we can prerequisite this topics and stuff so that we can be aware of, so that then we can come up with the solution and then we can enjoy this course. Because I think that totally.
See, there are documents available. Okay, will be given by Isha, which will cover most of these things. But the documents are going to be very, very comprehensive or detailed out, right? I don't know how easy it is going to be for you to read it and then come to it. Good to do it if you can do some groundwork, homework on these topics. that is good enough. There are set of documentation will be given by Isha, but I won't say that it's going to be a prerequisite. You can pretty much come, because the things which you are going to do it, learn it, are kind of basics to intermediate. So I don't think it will be a problem. But once you registered, right, you will be given with the performance engineering document, which you can definitely go through that before coming into the topics.
Sure. Thanks, Krish. That answers my question.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So I was mentioning that, right, this course is going to be between Monday to Friday, in the same time, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Satish, I have a question.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. First of all, thanks for the presentation. It was really nice. My 2 points are that on what tool will you be giving the hands-on? Is it Jmeter or with LoadRunner?
Okay.
The
See,
particular this one, performance engineering, through which tool are you going to give me the hands-on, the end project? And second thing is that after doing this one, will I be having any support for, let's say, certification or something like that?
see, okay. First thing is, um, when it comes to engineering, right, there are two aspects. One is the early performance, or identifying problem before you run the load test. Okay, so before you run a load test, you have to do the profiling, right? Being a client-side profiling or server-side profiling, it's all going to be a single user. Okay, you open your application and then observe your response time. If the response time is high, why it is high? You will use a tool like JProfilers, your Tomcat access logs, your Chrome.
Satish, just a second. I'm not actually asking that. I'm asking for this plain thing. Means you will be covering the performance engineering topics, right? So in which tool will you be presenting it to us, so that I will be easier for me to capture? Because ultimately I have to use.
Yeah, that is what I'm
You,
explaining. When it comes to tools, it is not going to be directly tagged to Jmeter or LoadRunner. The reason is,
okay.
first thing is, initially, from an engineering perspective, the profilings are going to be single user profiling. Okay, so you will
Okay.
use a
Okay.
tool like Chrome developer tools, JConsoles, Eclipse, Mat. All these things are all engineering tools, which you will use it while you manually traverse your application in your Chrome browser. That's all single user profiling. Okay, number one.
Okay.
Number two,
Okay.
you do a load test. You do a load test with Jmeter or LoadRunner. If there's a memory problem, if there is a response time problem, you take heapdump, you take GC logs, you take thread dump, okay, and analyze it. It doesn't matter if you're going to run a load with Jmeter or LoadRunner, but our case, I will also use Jmeter wherever I need to create some problem, right? To put some kind of
Yeah,
a load,
that is
with Jmeter.
okay. So you'll be using Jmeter to show us the means how we can check the heap dump or something like that. Okay, that was
Correct. Say,
okay.
for me to create some problem, I will run very small load, right? Because I don't have a big app server with me, so it's all in my laptop. From a learning perspective, I'll use
Okay.
Jmeter scripts. Say, for example, I'll just I have already, I think, I
Will you
opened
be
it
passing only
somewhere.
the WAR file or any means homegrown website? So where we will be displaying only on the WAR file that you have developed or something extra?
See, okay, this is the Jmeter few scripts which will also be uploaded to the drive, okay, which you can also reuse it. This is scripted for the this e-library application. Okay. Second question is, see this. Okay, let me show you that this home login view librarian, whatever we have it in this application is what I'm having in this script. Okay. Second is from a WAR file. Okay, see this code, whatever I'm showing it here, this is the e-library application, and this code is from where I have got the WAR file. Okay, so this application is something you can also deploy it in your mission, and you can use it for your testing.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Okay, so from a engineering perspective, what we need a sample application. We need a code so that we can go and create some problem, some response time problem, some memory problem. And also when in the tools, right, in the IFDM or in the JProfile, it will show you some problem. Now, if you have a code, you can also come back and look into that particular class or particular method, so that it will be easy for you to relate and understand. So from a perspective, you should also have in your mission the Tomcat and Eclipse, so that it will be easy for you to learn little easily, effectively.
Actually, I do not have any experience in Jmeter. That's the reason why I'm asking. It might be a little bit.
So Piyush, I have also a question. Like you are showing on the Eclipse, so do we in this, content, this program, so we will be also doing this kind of Eclipse programming as such, because I can see that we are also making an var file, or we are dumping an var file in Eclipse, and we are working on that.
Correct. So initially, we will have one session on Java basics, right? I'll go and probably tell you how to create classes, how to create multiple classes, how to build a jar file, how to build a var file, how to deploy it in the Tomcat. That we will have it probably tomorrow or day after. We will definitely have that initial session, so that you can get that comfortness as well. So we will have a session on how to create these classes and then compile it and then deploy it. That we will definitely have it.
That's good. One last thing, Satish, means after the completion of this course, will there be any support for this one certification?
See, there will be certificate given by Isha itself once you complete a course.
No, I'm speaking about LoadRunner certification.
See, this again, from a LoadRunner certification, it's a tool. Right? LoadRunner is a tool where you'll do scripting, you'll do execution, where you'll do analysis, right? So that is a testing aspect. If you want LoadRunner specific certifications, support to that, it is also available in Asia with a LoadRunner course. This is a performance engineering course. So you will get an engineering certificate from Asia once you complete it. But if you want to go and take LoadRunner certification, it is totally a different case altogether. But yes, there is a separate LoadRunner course is also available for you if you wanted to interested only in LoadRunner.
I wanted to actually the combo, means performance engineering as well as the tool. Will that be possible, or I have to take it?
Yeah, two different topics altogether. So that has to be a separate course only.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
Yeah.
Satish, one question. Mary here. So, whatever that you are going to cover is based on UI specific application or like API based?
Okay, good. So, say from let me go to the course content again. When it comes to microservices or APIs, right, that is one. In an architecture, you will have a browser or a UI, and then in the backend, you can also have services, or few of your application can only have the APIs or microservices. Okay, when it comes to engineering, okay, be it as API or be it as your UI. Let me go one by one. You will have a response time problem with your APIs, right? Your microservices or API, when you use it in the Postman, you can still have a response time of 1 second or 800 milliseconds, 2 seconds, which you need to debug it. So response time analysis is not going to be different for API or microservices or UI. Your API is still going to consume memory. It's still going to run on threads, so it will still have a memory problem or a thread problem. So your memory leak analysis, heap dumps, GC, thread dump analysis is going to be pretty much applicable for both UI as well as for your services or for your microservices. The client-side analysis will not be required. Being it is not an UI, you will not do any client-side profiling for that. AppDynamics, yes, it is of course required. You should know AppDynamics even to monitor your APIs. So DB, if your API is going to get connected to the DB, you should also know analyzing your database, AWS analysis. So I would say APIs, microservices, 80% of these things are going to be common for both UI and API both. Which means the concepts, whatever you're going to learn, can be applied to the microservices as well. But what we are going to use in our session is going to be an UI-based application.
Will you be able to include a few scenarios related to API as well for our hands-on?
I will try to do it. I cannot guarantee you that, but I will try to do that. Probably I'll try to set up some of these APIs and host it in the Tomcat, right? And then try to invoke that in Postman and then do a similar kind of response time analysis or leak analysis. I'll try to do that. It should be possible, but I'm not 100% sure whether I'll be able to do it within the 3 weeks to 4 weeks time. In case if I couldn't able to do it in 3 to 4 weeks time, definitely follow up, right? Probably after 1 week or 2 weeks, whenever I can get that done, I will have a session for that. But I'll try to do that, but I will not be able to guarantee you that 100%. But that's a good point. I'll try to do it.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Super. Okay. So, whatever questions you have with respect to the fee structure or registration, you can reach out to Kumar sir, and the course schedule is going to be between Monday to Friday, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST. If you have any questions on the topics, if you think that if you want to know whether it is relevant for you or not, is the course meant for you or not? If you have any questions, you can ping me in the WhatsApp in the group or to me separately. We can also have a one-on-one discussion whenever you wanted to do it tomorrow. So that you can go and register it. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. As I said, if you have any more questions, you can definitely put it in the WhatsApp group or to me in the WhatsApp, and I'll be able to answer you. Okay. So we'll meet again tomorrow. Yeah. Thanks for your time, guys. Yeah.
Thanks,
thank you.
Bye.
Bye.